Good morning. Welcome to the November 6th Walton County Technical Review Committee meeting. We apologize for the delay this morning due to our technical difficulties. We'll move right into our agenda this morning. First item is request to approve the April 3rd, 2019 and October 16, 2019 TRC minutes. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the April 3rd and October 16, 2019 TRC minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? The minutes are approved. Do we have any announcements this morning, Karen? Then we'll move right into project review, and we have a number of requests for continuance this morning. First item would be item number 2, Highlands at Seagrove Amendment. This is a request to continue to November 20. Do we have a motion to continue?
Motion continue.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this motion is carried and will be continued to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. Moving to item number 3, Walton's Landing. This major development has a request to continue to November 20. Do we have a motion to continue?
Motion to continue.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to November 20, Technical Review Committee meeting at 8:30 a.m. in this location. It moves us to item number 4, the Basin Bayou Estates. We have a request to continue to November 20. We have a motion to continue.
Motion continue.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments from applicant?
Well, let me come up there.
Yes, sir. Please, so we can get you on the, we can record your comments.
For the record, BAVIDFORSTROM. I got the resubmittal done about 9 days before the deadline. As far as I knew, everything was correct. Didn't get any comments, so I just found out, I guess, Monday morning it had been continued. I'm fine with the continuance. I just don't have any staff comments yet to work with.
And that may be one reason we're continuing it. Delay in receiving comments from all of the technical reviewers.
Okay.
And the fact that this project sort of does this.
Right. I understand you got a lot on your plate.
Process.
So. Okay.
There's substantial engineering comments. I told Mr. Forsstrom that he would have them today after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second to continue this item to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to the next meeting. It moves us to item number 5, Venetius large-scale amendment. We have request to continue to November 20 on this item. We have a motion to continue.
Second.
We have a second. Any comments from applicant?
Chair, he has already missed the submittal deadline for the 2nd November one. Could we change that continuation to 12/4, please? We're still missing a traffic analysis.
Oh, I'm sorry. That one should have been December 4. So
Yes, sir.
we can amend the motion to December 4 at 8:30 a.m. in this location.
I revise my motion to December 4th, 2019 in this location.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. This item is continued to December 4 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. Next item on the agenda, number 6, the Sweetwater Lane RV Park, minor development. we have requests to continue to December 4 Technical Review Committee meeting. All in favor, excuse me, do we have a motion?
Motion to continue.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments from the applicant?
Board with Dunlap and Shipman, the applicant is okay with continuance, obviously. We had a meeting with the health department concerning some of their comments. We're expecting to get those comments in writing, and then we'll be addressing those and resubmitting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion to continue on the floor. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Likewise. Hearing none, this item is continued to December 4 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. That moves us to item number 7, the Ashley Place minor development order.
Comes also to be continued, asking to be continued to December 4th, sir. They didn't post a sign, nor have they received fire comments.
And there are a number of significant review comments also. Do we have a motion to continue?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments from applicant? Don't see applicant this morning. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to December 4 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. That moves us to item number 8, the Walmart exterior modification. This minor development order will also have to be heard by the Design Review Board because it's in the US 98 Scenic Corridor. And it's my understanding that there is a meeting scheduled with Public Works to discuss the access and circulation on November 12th. I'll entertain a motion to continue this project to November 20.
Motion to continue.
We have a motion to continue and a second. Any comments from applicant?
Morning, my name's Matt Davis. I'm with WD Partners. I am the applicant for Walmart. We don't have an issue with the continuance. I know we do have that meeting scheduled with Public Works for next Tuesday, the 12th. I know we just received some minor comments from planning and still waiting to receive comments from fire and I think one other review.
I think we intended to go ahead and advertise this for December 4 or December 5 Design Review Board.
I believe that's the case, yes, sir.
And this would not delay that,
Okay.
providing we don't have some major redesign or something that would preclude you from resubmitting
Okay,
if necessary.
that would be great.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. We have a motion and a second to continue to November 20. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. That moves us to item number 9, Seacroft Cottages. It's a request to approve by development order. It's been reviewed by Tim. Bob is going to briefly introduce it for us this morning.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is a minor plat application submitted by Innerli Engineering, requesting approval to plat 3 residential lots on 4.91 plus or minus acres of future land use of conservation residential in a zoning category of conservation residential. Oops, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Seacroft Cottages, I apologize. This is a minor development order application submitted by Emerald Coast Associates on behalf of Sarah Holdings LLC, requesting approval to develop 14 single-family residential lots and associated infrastructure on 2.51 plus or minus acres with a future land use of residential in the zoning category of neighborhood infill. There are outstanding comments, nothing that looks too difficult to address. And the applicant is here to issue any comment.
Good morning, Dean Burgess with Emerald Coast Associates. We've received the comments and have gone through them. I didn't have any questions on any of them. There's a few planning comments to respond to that we believe we can do in short order.
Have you submitted a narrative explaining how you meet the compatibility requirements in neighborhood infill?
I believe we did. I recall, checking that and going through it when we did the submittal. I will verify that. That was the one item that caught my eye when I was reviewing the comments last night.
Since the code changed, we're no longer requiring a compatibility analysis.
Understand.
We require a narrative that explains how you're meeting those requirements that are in the new standards for neighborhood infill.
Right.
And did you have your public meeting with the planner there?
We had the public meeting. Planner was invited. Don't believe the planner showed, but nor did any of the neighbors. It was a short meeting.
Do we have a recommended motion, Bob?
Chair, do you want to open it to the public since it's a minor?
We will take the opportunity to public comment on this particular development at this time. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to make a comment or anything else on this particular project? Seeing none, do we have a recommended motion, Bob?
Mr. Chair, since we're still missing Walton Fire District, I'd like to make a motion to conditionally approve this pending fire comments and successful resubmittal addressing the staff comments.
That's acceptable. Sure.
Do we have a motion? We have a recommended motion. Do we have a motion of the dais?
Moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is approved to move forward to development order subject to the conditions in the staff report.
Thank you.
This moves us to item number 10, the Magnolia Dunes subdivision plat. Requested approved by final plat. It was reviewed by Tim Brown. Bob, can you briefly introduce this one for us?
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the one that I excitedly skipped for. This is a minor plat application submitted by Innerli Engineering Corporation requesting to approve a plat of 3 residential lots on 4.91 plus or minus acres with a future land use of conservation residential and a zoning category of conservation residential 2 to 1. The parcel numbers identified in your staff report. Mr. Chair, there are minor comments. I don't see anything that would hinder being resubmitted with the comments. The applicant is here. I will turn it over to Mr. David.
Thank you, Bob. I'm David Smith with Innerli Engineering, and we did receive the comments from Bob, and I do agree with him. They're very minor, so I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Any questions from the dais? Hearing none, do we have a recommended motion?
Make a motion of conditionally approving pending successful resubmittal and then moving to the Mylar stage and scheduling it for the next appropriate BCC meeting.
We have a recommended motion. Do we have a motion of the dais?
Motion to conditionally approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Anyone wishing to make a public comment on this particular item? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is moved forward conditionally, subject to comments in the staff report.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. This moves us to item number 11, the Path of Grace large-scale amendment? There's small.
Yes, it's large scale, it's 10.09 acres.
Do we need to correct our summary? The small scale in the second
Oh, I'm sorry. I will fix
second line.
I will fix that. I apologize. Like me to introduce it, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please, Bob. Thank you.
This is Path of Grace Church, LSA. It is submitted by Jenkins Engineering on behalf of Path of Grace Incorporated, requesting approval to change the future land use from conservation residential to public facilities and institutional, and with a zoning of conservation residential 2-1 to institutional. It's on 10.09 acres. The parcel number is identified on the staff report. Mr. Chair, there are really no outstanding comments at this time. I would like to turn it over to the applicant who is here.
Good morning, Scott Jenkins from Jenkins Engineering. Like I said, we got the staff report. I don't think there's any outstanding items you guys are looking for. We'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the dais? This is one that looked like it was significantly impacted by wetlands, based on the NWI, which is an estimate, of course.
We actually have an environmental assessment, and it has very little wetlands on it, actually, so it could be part of your package.
Okay. Any other questions from the dais? Hearing none, do we have a recommended motion?
Mr. Chair, I recommend approval of this project and to move it to the next appropriate planning commission meeting for a public hearing.
Thank you, Bob. We have a recommended motion. This project will have an opportunity for public comment at Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners. Do we have any technical review comments from any member of the audience at the moment? Hearing none, we have recommended motion. Do we have motion at the dais?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed likewise? This one is approved to move forward to the next commission meeting. Thank you. That moves to item number 12, the Force Capital Partners Complex Major Development. This has been reviewed by Bob Baronti. Bob, if you would briefly introduce it for us.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I received an email requesting continuation of this to the November 20th meeting.
Okay.
Alyssa
That
Pettis.
from you?
Yes, it was from me. I requested the continuance to November 20th to thoroughly review our comments and possibly meet with county staff for any clarifications that we need.
There's an environmental/engineering issue.
Okay. We have a recommended motion to continue to November 20th. Do we have motion at the dais?
Motion to continue.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Thank you. We have motion and a second. Any other technical comments from anyone in the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. Thank you. That moves us to item number 13, the Bayview Estates plat, and we have requests to continue to November 20. Anyone here representing the applicant this morning? Seeing none, we have a recommended motion to continue. Do we have a motion at the dais?
Continue.
Second.
And a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. This item is continued to November 20th at 8:30 a.m. in this location. It moves us to item number 14, Daxton by the Sea, formerly known as Musset Bayou. This is a plat application reviewed by Bob Baronti. Bob, if you could briefly introduce it for us.
Mr. Chair, this is a request to plat. It was submitted by Walker Surveying on behalf of Paradise Coastal Builders requesting approval to plat 31 single-family lots on 7.75 plus or minus acres. The property has a future land use of residential and a zoning of neighborhood infill. The parcel number is identified in your staff report. Mr. Chair, as you see, there's a number of comments. However, the agent has resubmitted and addressed comments, and they're out for review currently. The agent is here. If you.
Good morning, Ron.
Morning, Ron Velker, Velker Surveying.
We have resubmittal on all of these comments.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair. They're due back, actually the 11th, but since we'll be closed, they'll be back, should be back around the 12th or 13th. And then I will send them out. If there's no longer, then we can move to the Mylar stage.
Given that we already have resubmittal on this, do we have BCC schedule planned for this particular project?
I'm shooting for the December meeting.
Okay. Ron, you believe your response adequately addressed all the comments?
Yes.
Then I'm going to recommend that we move this forward to the next available BCC, subject to satisfaction of the comments and completion of the review.
And Mr. Chair, the fees will need to be paid. That will go a long way in help in keeping it on track for the December meeting.
I've already advised my client to take care of it. He's probably going to take care of it today.
Very good. We have a recommended motion to continue to conditionally approve this, subject to satisfaction of the outstanding comments, and move it forward to the Board of County Commissioners for consideration. Do we have a motion at the dais?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. This item will be moved forward to the Board of County Commissioners on satisfaction of comments. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
This moves us to item number 15 on our agenda this morning, Christ the King Episcopal Education Building. This is a minor development application reviewed by Bob Baronti. And Bob, if you would briefly introduce it for us.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, after the submittal date or the loading date, I've received an email from the agent of Dewberry requesting to continue this to November 20th also.
Rudy Mall, Dewberry Engineers. Yeah, we'd just like to request additional time to review the staff comments.
Thank you, sir. We have a recommended motion to continue to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location. Do we have a motion at the dais?
Motion to continue.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any technical comments from any member of the audience? Seeing none, we have a motion on the table. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is continued to November 20 at 8:30 a.m. in this location.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. This moves us to item number 16, the New Life Church of God request to approve. I made a final order. Bob Baronti has reviewed it. Bob, if you'll briefly introduce it for us.
Yes, Mr. Chair. This is a major development order application submitted by Innerli Engineering on behalf of the New Life Church of God Incorporated, requesting the approval to construct a 30,482 square feet church with a coffee shop and parking on 5.05 plus or minus acres with a future land use of mixed use and a zoning of small neighborhood. The parcel numbers identified in your staff report. Mr. Chair, there are some minor comments. I don't believe that the applicant will have any problem addressing those to keep this moving on in a timely manner. However, we have not received South Walton Fire comments. Mr. Smith is here to address any issues you may have.
Thank you, Bob. I'm David Smith with Innerli Engineering, and I did receive the comments from Bob, and I do agree. I've reviewed them. We're already addressing them, and they're very minor. So we would respectfully request to move forward, please, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, David. Any questions from the dais?
This one has that compensatory storage requirement, right? You think you'll be able to meet that without any substantial parking lot revisions or, drainage plan revisions? Yeah.
And it's something we've been discussing with Aaron and both Jason as far as how we're going to meet that. Just, in general terms too. So
Right,
I feel confident we can.
Thank you, David. We have recommended motion.
Mr. Chair, due to the fact that we have not received Southwest Fire comments, I'd like to conditionally approve it pending receiving the fire comments and successful resubmittal of the project. And then move it to the next appropriate planning commission meeting.
Which, December?
December.
Planning Commission?
Planning Commission. I think it's like 12th, yeah, the 12th, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Starting now.
I'll make a motion that we conditionally approve, subject to receiving fire comments and successful resubmittal of the outstanding comments.
We have a motion at the dais. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further technical comments from any member of the audience? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is conditionally approved to move forward to Planning Commission, subject to satisfaction of comments and resubmittal.
Thank you.
That moves us to item number 17. And my first comment is change the name of this project. It's a small-scale amendment.
It is a small scale matter.
And just as a general rule, if it's a plat, it needs to say plat in the title. If it's a small scale amendment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's my.
ASSA,
That's my fault.
a large scale amendment, it needs to say LSA in the title.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry that I overlooked that. That's my fault, and I will make it correct. I apologize.
It is only a reason.
Yeah, it's a rezoning. That's what, now you got me confused. It's our first only rezoning. The future land use is fine, the rezoning is changing, and it reflects it in the staff report. And it does say rezoning in the ad. But it's also a small scale amendment.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
then I'll
that's
just change it to
Let's
rezoning.
clarify that
That is my fault.
going forward.
That is my fault. It'll be changed today.
Okay.
So it's a rezoning amendment.
Briefly introduce it for us, Bob.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I apologize for that mistake. This is the Hocker Small Scale Amendment. It is being submitted by Emerald Coast Associates on behalf of Bridgeport Holding, requesting the change to the official zoning map district from residential preservation and neighborhood infill to low-density residential 4:1 on 3.04 plus or minus acres. The project is located from the 3.03 miles from the intersection of Highway 98 and Ellis Road South. The parcel is identified in your staff report. Mr. Chair, the reason why is the maps are different on the GIS. It does show that neighborhood infill bleeding into this parcel a little bit. GIS wasn't sure, so we advertised, as we've done, you've had me done before, advertised it just to be safe. In reality, it doesn't appear that it's really there. I think it's a bleed over. All comments have been addressed. There's been no public comments received as of today. There's all standard comments sent to the school board, have not received the comments of this date. And I will turn it over to Mr. Burgess, who's here as the agent.
Morning, Dean Burgess with Emerald Coast Associates. I've read through the staff report, and there really aren't any comments for us to respond to. I would like to see if either I can intervene with the school board to move this along and hopefully get it on the next planning commission meeting.
He promised me by the end of the week, Mr. Chair. I don't think that'll be a problem getting those comments.
All right.
I want to make sure she doesn't have any questions.
Okay, I'll follow up.
How large is this parcel?
0.6 acres. There's some confusion. I think it's referenced, there's a reference to it as 3 acres, either in the property appraisers, but it is 0.6 acres.
And it's been confirmed by both the GIS and the survey.
Going forward, Bob, a couple of things. Is this applicant Eddie Mansfield?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
He's the Path of Grace. Same guy? No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
And Hocker.
a typo.
Okay.
On the next page, the low-density residential is shown as 4 to 11. That's a typo on page 2. Can fix those going forward.
Oh, okay, I'll fix them.
Do we have recommended motion, Bob?
I'll make a recommendation of approval pending positive comments from the school department and school district, and move it to the next appropriate PC meeting for its public hearing.
Thank you. We have recommended motion. We have motion at dais.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any comments from the audience? There will be public hearings at the Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners. Are there any technical comments regarding the process or any of the standards that we reviewed to determine a land use change?
Irrigation issues and routing be technical?
Do you have specific comments on those that you'd like to put on the record? Please identify the portion of the land development code that you're referring to.
My name's Ed Hartwig, Hartwig, and I'm the president of Woodland Shores Townhome Association. We are directly across the street from this project. We have had flooding issues on this stretch of Miramar Beach for a long time, since the building's boom started, so to speak. As a matter of fact, and it's a fact, we had to put our own retention pond in at our cost just so the water wouldn't get into the units. This project will be directly straight across the street from 5 or 6 of our units. On Driftwood, you've already approved and have built 2 different projects 7-bedroom, 15 occupancy. That stretches all the way along the backside of our property, the west side. There is also a development beginning that will go all the way along the north side of our property. This is becoming, in our estimation, a real major problem with flooding. I don't know if you realize how bad it's gotten. Some houses on Emerald are on Newman Drive, where Newman Drive and Payne intersect. And decent rain takes the water almost up to their front door. Bradley, down behind us, every time it rains, they get flooded out. It's becoming ridiculous in terms of what's going on with these big boxes that are building, they're going up. We call them party houses. We like to party, everybody does, but it's affecting our little bit of paradise. Let's put it that way. The county has not done a thing for sidewalks or for irrigation, and it's been talked about for years. It's gotten to be, there are so many people because of these boxes with 15 and 20 people, they're walking down the middle of Driftwood towards the beach. Don't get out of the way. Somebody's going to get hit. It's just ridiculous. Now, we're not trying to stop development. We would like to request that the county take an in-depth look at the infrastructure problems that putting all these big party boxes up in our neighborhood have caused, and try to take an approach to do something about it. I know we're running.
Could I interrupt you just a second? This is a land use change, not a development review. Those comments that you're describing would be appropriate for the development review of the project itself. But this application does not authorize any building.
Okay.
It merely changes the land use category.
Will there be a posting of the next, or a meeting that we can go to address this in the future?
Yes, sir, there will be. There will be a sign posted in front of the project that indicates the next planning
Okay.
commission meeting that this will be
All right.
scheduled for.
Okay, the last two
notices-
projects didn't have postings. They just didn't. They didn't put them up.
What kind of projects were they?
Well, the Driftwood projects where they started off with just 3 or 4 7-bedroom. And
And
then-
that would not require notice to the neighborhood or posting in the previous context, because those projects were all developed prior to us updating the land development code to require posting for other smaller projects that are less than 30 units, 30 multifamily or 20 single-family units. This is a land use change. It does require posting in all cases. Not for this meeting today, but for the next 2 hearings. Because this is not a public hearing today.
Okay.
We're just reviewing the technical components of the application against the land development code and the comprehensive plan. There will be a public hearing, and you'll have the opportunity to say, I just don't like anything else in my neighborhood, if that be your opinion. But those will be available, or that opportunity will be available at the Planning Commission, which meets in this location the second Thursday of each month, and the Board of County Commissioners, which will likely be at the South Walton Annex. given
All right.
the South
Thank
County
you.
project. Thank you, sir. Did we get your name for the record?
Ed Hartwig, Hartwig, President, Woodland Shores Townhomes.
Thank you, Mr. Hartwig. Recommend motion?
Recommended motion to conditionally approve, pending the Cecil resubmittal and the fire department comments.
Thank you, Bob. We have motion at dais.
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this will be moved forward to the next available planning commission meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. This moves us to item number 18, the Walton County Detailed Special Area Plan number 1. This is a component of The Bay Walton Sector Plan, it's a major development order. It's been reviewed by Kristen Shell. Kristen, if you could briefly introduce it for us, and I think this is here for information purposes only.
That's right. They technically didn't have to come to the TRC, but thankfully didn't object because I think it's the best way to get comments. This is the first special area plan that implements the sector plan, which has been in the comprehensive plan for a while now. When it's fully built out in 2035, just this component has the potential to add 12 to 15,000 residents to South Walton County. That is a huge shift. It requires public infrastructure, and this concept plan is kind of like a PUD concept plan where they gain conceptual approval, and then each subsequent development will come in as a minor. So you will be the sole decision body on the implementation of the entire project. So I felt like it was important to kind of see how it was set up overall and to get comments. And so far, we've only really gotten comments from environmental. I'm hoping to get something from the fire department because one of the policies in the comp plan requires that they consider public safety as part of the concept plan. So we'll be hopefully looking for that. It'll go to the Planning Commission probably in December. We're hoping to get a little bit more detail in the concept plan and some better look at infrastructure moving forward to the Planning Commission. But I did want everybody to see it, and the applicant's here if anybody has questions, and really it's just here for information. We're looking forward to their response to some of the comments and to getting some more infrastructure analysis moving forward, because like I said, it is, this is only a small portion. The sector plan in Walton County, if it achieves its full 27-something thousand units, which is a 50-year build-out, it almost doubles our population. So it warrants us paying attention to and making sure we get the infrastructure components correct.
Hey, Kristen, comments from applicant?
No, we're just excited to be here and have our first DSAP in Walton County. We had, if you guys remember, the Bay Walton Sector Plan was adopted back in 2015. We've been working away at Origins and have some pretty good momentum there, and we see this DSAP as an extension of what we're doing in Watersound Origins community.
Okay. I see that a portion of this includes the area next to the South Walton Commerce Park.
That's correct.
That was previously indicated as a possible site for the affordable housing required in the DRI.
And we're still planning for the affordable housing in that general location.
Okay. Is that 150 included in the residential units listed in this DSAP?
It is included in the residential units.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, this is a significant project in Walton County, and as Kristen says, over the next 50 years, it will certainly change the landscape in eastern Walton County. And they have a significant impact on our ability to deliver public services. But we appreciate the submittal, and we look forward to moving this project forward. As this is here for informational only, it doesn't require a vote at the TRC. We'll expect this to move forward to Planning Commission, subject to the resubmittal. Thank you very much. This moves us to item number 9, Watersound Origins Phase 5. Naturewalk Phase 1, Plat.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Don't we already have a plat called Naturewalk?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we do, but I think this is just the first phase of it. There are other I believe Naturewalk had different phases for each plat.
There's a different development called Naturewalk.
I'm just doing this I'm not overly.
Watersound Origin, Naturewalk Phase 1. I think you're referring to the development at 395.
Yeah. Yeah, just thinking about the confusion.
Have been working with Coulter on this phase of the Watersound Origins community. And it is their desire to call their neighborhood within Origins Naturewalk. So, added other phases of the Origins community. We have called this one, the project is Watersound Phase 5, but the neighborhood is Naturewalk. So that's where the
Okay.
I think it'll technically be Watersound Origins Phase 5.
Well, just recognizing the Plat name can't be exactly the same.
It is not a duplicate.
Any other questions from Dias?
Chair, do you want me to introduce the project into record, or?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Mr. Chair, this is a plat application submitted by Innerli Engineering Corporation on behalf of the Watersound Company, LLC, requesting approval to plat 36 single-family lots within Watersound Origins Phase 5. This is the first phase, Watersound Origins Phase 5, on 18.14 plus or minus acres. The property has a future land use of Bay Walton Sector Plan Village Center and is a zoning of Bay Walton Sector Plan Village Center. The project is located from Highway 331 and US Highway 98, travel east on 98 approximately 11.2 miles to entrance on north side of the road. Let's see, Phase 5 of Watersound Origins begins at the end of Watersound Parkway North, where Pathways Drive and Watersound Parkway meet. The project is identified by the parcel numbers in your staff report. Mr. Chair, there are minor comments, and the plating fees due, but I don't, Renee didn't feel that there was anything in here that would be repairable in a timely manner. And so staff would like to make a recommendation to conditionally approve pending successful resubmittal and fees paid, then to move the Mylar stage, and then move to the appropriate BCC meeting.
Thank you, Bob. Just a comment, looking at planning comments and the proposed plat. I mean, it says Naturewalk Phase 1. I think that's going to be confusing. And I think, as a member of the audit suggested, we may already have a plat with that exact name. So, subject to clarifying that. We'll entertain a motion to move this one forward to Board of County Commissioners, subject to satisfaction of outstanding comments. We have a motion at the dais.
Oh, a motion to move this forward to the Board of County Commissioners, subject to satisfactory of all outstanding comments.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comment from, any further technical comment from any member of the audience? Hearing none, we have a motion. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed likewise? Hearing none, this item is moved forward to the next available Board of County Commissioners meeting, subject to satisfaction of outstanding comments and production of the signed Mylar.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. This moves us to item number 20, the Origins Pavilion. Request to approve by minor development order has been reviewed by Renee Bradley. Bob, if you could briefly introduce that one for us.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As you said, this is a minor development order application submitted by McNeil Carroll Engineering on behalf of Watersound Company, LLC, requesting the approval of an open-air pavilion consisting of 7,644 square feet and 72 parking spaces on approximately 2.3 plus or minus acres of a 55.12 plus or minus acre tract with a future land use designation of Bay Walton Sector Plan Town Center and the official zoning district designation of Bay Walton Sector Plan Town Center. This project is located from Highway 98 east to Watersound Parkway north, and the parcel is on the northeast intersection is identified by the parcel number that is in your staff report. Mr. Chair, there are minor comments. We are missing the fire comments. The applicant is here, Mr. Carroll is here to address any comments that you may have.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just saw these. Are there any engineering comments?
And I didn't have a chance to look at it, and I apologize, but this is part of that previously approved stormwater revision for that entrance, and it's all kind of interconnected. So as far as the stormwater review, there shouldn't be anything there. And then from a bird's eye view, it doesn't look like it'd be anything too technical to review from an engineering standpoint.
We have no comments.
What actually is the intended use of this?
It's an open pavilion. I don't know if it's going to be utilized by the community, but it's just big open space, and it's got 2 restrooms in it.
Farmers market?
Sure, I know it's utilized. The community will be there.
Applicant?
The intent of this pavilion is to have some civic uses to allow the community a covered place to gather. So farmers market potentially, community events. A place where we can have something that's more accessible and more visible to the general public to come and participate in whatever is going on there.
Okay. Might be a good place for a transit stop.
It could potentially be, and you know, as we're going through some of these other applications, we've been talking with Kristen about the mobility plan and opportunity to try and incorporate some of those kinds of things in here. But yeah, I definitely could see this. This is going to be in our commercial area at the front of Origins that we hope a lot of people will come and enjoy. So transit stop is definitely would be an appropriate application.
Thank you. Any other questions from the dais? Recommended motion, Bob?
Mr. Chair, since there is no fire comments, staff would make a recommendation to conditionally approve pending successful resubmittal and addressing any outstanding fire comments.
We have a recommended motion. We have a motion at the dais.
Motion to conditionally approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Had a motion and a second. As this is a minor development, we'll take the opportunity to open public hearing and invite any public comments on this particular application. Anyone in the audience wish to make a public comment at this time? Seeing none, we have a motion at the dais. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Likewise. Hearing none, this item is conditionally approved to move forward, subject to satisfaction of outstanding comments.
Thank you.
And that appears to conclude our agenda this morning.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.